Can I ask, may I ask something about the relationship for you between discovering and acquiring? Because I'm interested, what means for you, what is most important, to discover something or to acquire, to have something? Because it's a topic question for a collector, in my opinion. Because sometimes some kind of collector are more interested in discover. And so we can discuss after, if you have time, about advisor position or gallery connection, but not now. I am interested to know what's the relationship between these two words, discover and acquire.
I would say that you want to start? Or?
No, I mean, it just came to my mind that I think a discovery is automatically an acquisition, which could be an acquisition of memory.
No.
You mean like a monetary acquisition?
I speak about what is most important in the process of collecting, to discover or to acquire, and why.
I think that it depends on the collectors.
I speak about you.
So to speak about me, of course, the discovery is an integral part of the collecting process, because what I'm interested in is mostly new or let's say things that are not established yet, because this is what I think is more interesting than to make a collection of recognized works by recognized artists and things that a museum would do is not as much interesting and is something that doesn't require the same qualities. And I think that collectors play a different role than kind of people acquiring for museum, because they acquire for themselves, they acquire for their own enjoyment, they acquire to support the art scene. So there is a little bit of the when you mention kind of discovery and acquisition, it made me think of the kind of in the prehistoric times, kind of hunters and gatherers. So first they had to discover, to look for for food or whatever, which is part of the fun. But they were doing it for their own to get the food. So of course the discovery is an integral part of the collecting process, and you cannot and of course this is it would not be fun to acquire without the process. It wouldn't be fun to be sitting at my desk looking at works that would have been pre discovered by other people.
No, I think that I want to specify, because I think that the two words refers to different approach, but refers also on what is a piece of art for you. For example, if it's energy for you, a piece of art, it's natural that you speak about discovering, because it's your food in this sense. When you speak about acquiring, you speak about object, artifact. And so it's a different perspective, in my opinion. And so if you are interested in discovering, in scouting in the sense that you need energy that comes from some part, is different from the needing of possession of having an artifact. No, it's a totally different position.
It's true that and then I will let you kind of speak. But it's true that for me anyway, the search and the acquisition process is probably more important than the ownership And even though Edoardo said that and it's true, that collectors are the kind of custodian of the world, they have to, that's their responsibility. But for me anyway, it's not as much fun as the process to look for it and then to acquire it. It's a little bit. I'm about to make an analogy which might be a little bit wrong, but yeah, it's the weekend and we're kind of all together with our friends. It's a little bit like in a kind of a dating, or kind of in a kind of search for a romantic kind of relationship. Kind of some people are more interested in kind of looking for and in kind of multiplying the kind of conquests, and some will be more interested in kind of keeping the loved one for a long time. I'm not giving any answer.
What do you think?
Well, I think that I can also bring two personal stories. One is of the residency, where I have a constant need of discovery in order to bring fresh air into the Palazzo for new artists to be invited or selected, because we're open to applications as well. And as you know, I'm constantly traveling for personal and work reasons, but the fil rouge of the art research is always constant. I need and I want to find, to discover, and now we're given so many means to do so. We have social medias. Instagram is incredible for finding new artists, websites, and you can really research so much information at any time, at any point, with very little budget. All you need is a phone and internet connection, and at the same time, I think that personally, maybe in a bit selfish way, but acquisition is also important, because eventually you need to support the artist that has made the work, and acquiring it gives not only the monetary support, but also that maybe the boost of confidence. Sometimes maybe acquiring a work works better than giving the same value for creating new works, because in a way you validate the work that the artist has done already. But then I think they have to feed each other, and I go back to discovery, because I can acquire a work, but then make it discover to other people. How do I do that? Well, we go back to making sure that it's shown and it doesn't go to storage, it doesn't go to a garage, but it's enjoyed, and you can be then that machine that creates discovery for others, in person, online. There's so many ways to do so. But I would say that, and maybe I'm going to answer a question that you're going to make after, but I've never done an acquisition for investment purely, but it was always the natural evolution of a discovery. And as you said, there's a fire in your heart, in your mind, that just takes fire, and it then goes and it becomes an acquisition.